Hello and welcome to episode 15 of Scratch Social.
Yesterday, Pancake Tuesday, we actually made them from scratch here at home. We normally buy them on the week from the discounters, the Aldi's and the Lidl's. I made it from scratch. The 5-year-old loves making stuff from scratch. So looks like we'll be doing that most Saturday mornings now. Well, not over the next Lenten period or whatever, because I'm such a great Catholic.
Do you go off anything for Lent? Do you do it?
No, I used to, but no, not anymore.
Yeah, same. One time I tried to trick my mom and tell her I'm going off apples for Lent. It didn't work.
I'm giving up the stuff I don't like already.
Yeah, exactly. How was your week? How's the last couple of days been?
It was good. I have not picked up a golf club in a week, so I feel out of practice because I'm no way a natural golfer. I need reps. So there's that. But we were visiting the weekend and the weather wasn't great and blah blah blah. And I was in the office more than I wanted to be. But I am today's Wednesday when people are listening to this, or maybe after. But I will have been to Mr. Robbie Cannon for my TPI screening, heading up there on Wednesday. So looking forward to that. It's been a couple of years since I was in with Robbie. So looking forward to the program output. So hopefully it'll take my direction that, I'll do some jump arounds. No problem jumping. But I want to be lifting some heavy stuff as well, please. Love a deadlift. So
Nice.
Yeah, please.
Does the TPI screening give like your golf fitness handicap as well, or is that separate?
I think it does, yeah. I think it does. So it'll definitely put me as like a 15 handicap, I'd say. But I'd recommend every level of golfer do it, because then you just understand. You understand why your body works a certain way. And ideally, you give that program or report and you share it with your PGA professional coach. Say, look, this is how my body moves or doesn't move. There's a reason John Ram only goes to here in his backswing. It's because he's club foot when he was a kid. So he's just unable to bring it further back. So yeah, that's my little recommendation for people. Get a screening, share with your PGA pro and work on it.
Nice. Best of luck with that. I had a very busy week. I drove the length and breadth of Ireland. I was in Dublin, I was in County Louth, I was in Donegal, I was in Sligo, and then I was back to Limerick. I visited last week County Louth Golf Club, and oh my God, the history that they have at that club. Amazing.
What a place.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
And I learned that like there was two designers in 1937. I can't remember the lady's name now, but they were co-designers, man and a woman. They championed women's golf way back when. So I don't really think a lot of clubs did that at that time. I don't know, and please correct me if I'm wrong. But it was really cool and really, really inspiring to see. One thing about County Louth though was like even though the weather was biblical, it was still open, and they're really, really lucky to have the course still open and still playable. And it just made me think about something before we jumped on this podcast, Paddy. So many courses have been closed for the last month because of the rain. But for our listeners and anybody out there, please can we encourage you to go and buy food in the restaurant of your golf clubs, because they're still paying staff, still paying overheads, and the menus are amazing and more often than not super affordable. Even if you aren't playing golf or going to the golf course, please head to your golf club and just support them, because they have the stock, the inventory, they're paying the staff, and they want to be kept going.
I thoroughly agree with you. So this weekend, I don't know if I have the time to go to Industry Golf Flicks because I'm planning to head up home with Christopher. But that's my favourite place to eat is actually in the restaurant in Tralee Golf Club where we're down. It's one of and the restaurant in Dingle in County Vale won an award for top European golf club restaurant. But that's actually a lot of the locals within County Vale would actually go to the golf club for lunch or for meals or for dinner out. So yeah, thoroughly agree with you.
Brilliant. And we had a very big weekend of golf news. Where do we even start?
Big week. Well, I think everybody knows Anthony Kim is back. AK is back. Did you know who Anthony Kim was before you saw him sign on LIV, or maybe before you saw the headlines of the comeback of comebacks last Sunday?
I did, because I've been consuming golf content, mainly the Golf Channel, since I'm about 11 years of age. So anytime he did a clinic or a workshop, like he was there. So yes, I was familiar with him, but most people, not most people, but a lot of people have only just learned about him this week, which is class.
It's class. Like he was the guy. Like 07, 08, Anthony Kim was like, he was swaggier than Tiger. Do you know, he was the next Tiger Woods. We were like 08, Tiger won his US Open on 1.5 legs that year. But AK, he had 3 PGA Tour wins. He'd played Ryder Cup and was like a Ryder Cup hero at that stage by 08. But like, big belts were a thing back then. So I was last year of college in 08, putting age myself. But like, Lindbergh was a massive brand at the time, massive, bright oranges, white pants, highlighter color polo shirts, big white belts, massive buckles, the JL buckle. But Anthony Kim was like, big glitter bomb of a buckle, like the size of an iPhone. It was huge. A bejazzled buckle, if you will. But he was the man. And then like, he just disappeared. He did his Achilles. I don't know, was it late 08 or 09? And he just got gone off the face of the planet. Not even, zero internet presence. Like, people didn't know where he was. People who didn't Paddy with on tour, like you're talking 2015, 2016, nobody knew what became of Anthony Kim. And it's only since he came back on LIV, that he's spoken out about, he was in a tough place. He was an addiction problem. At that time, 08, 09, he was in the portal, he was between holes at the Masters doing stuff to get through the back nine. Like, that's bonkers stuff. But it happens. Like, it happens in every walk of life. It's going to happen to someone on the golf course. It was mad. And like, you saw like his appearance when he came back on LIV, whatever it was, 2 years ago. And it's like, he's a completely different person physically. Like, there's obviously collapse there from addiction woes. But let's talk about the comeback. Like, nobody, I think it tells a story. Like, nobody knows what's going on behind like your front door or my front door, and indeed Anthony Kim's front door. There was a lot going on behind his front door. And everybody was all about him when he was up on top of the world. But then when he disappeared, did anybody really try hard enough to find out how Anthony Kim was doing? But yeah, absolutely fantastic that, not only did he make his comeback to play golf, but like he's made the comeback to the top of that tour. He's won on that tour. He's beaten the likes of John Ram and Bryson on the last day. And I thought what was nice is obviously his teammates and the people on LIV understand, because rather than champagne, it was sparkling water they sprayed him with on the AT&T, because he was a few days away from being 3 years sober, which was fantastic. And so yeah, and obviously the quotes that they came out with afterwards were all about resilience and don't effing quit. If you to tell one person who's going through a hard time, don't effing quit. So yeah, absolutely, comeback of all comebacks, Mr. Kim.
Yeah, it was class. And what's funny is that, like, when he came back on LIV, there was uproar about him coming back. So he just proved everybody wrong. Like, it's just an amazing redemption story, as you said. Amazing.
100%. And like, he lost his LIV card or whatever you want to call it, like a couple of months ago, and had to qualify back on and won that qualifying, like came number 1. So he came back on not as like a sole individual player. When Patrick Reed came back to DP World a couple of weeks ago, Anthony Kim took his spot on the 4 Aces. Don't ask me all the teams' names, but he was actually part of a team the last 2. This might have been the first outing as a team. I'm unsure. Don't really follow it that closely. But so yeah, he's kind of proved himself. He's on the upward curve the last couple of months on the golf scene as well, to match his comeback to enjoying life the last 3 years being sober or that.
I'm sure the team, the marketing team and PR team at LIV Golf are popping bottles of water, of course.
Of carbonated water, yeah.
Yeah, no, fair play, it's class.
Like from the emotional comeback of Anthony Kim, we had the technical comeback of Collin Morikawa. So I think more people may have watched that on TV. Of our listeners, more people may know that he was a couple of years out from winning his last event, and kind of like a guy with so much potential after winning a couple of majors early. Like his ball striking failed him, or his game was failing him, and like he was one of the best stats wise of ball strikers, iron players on tour, and his coaches, etc., etc. But it was great to see him back. A couple of things I want to chat about that, as in, what would you do? So he hit his tee shot on the 18th hole. He did not hit his approach shot. for another 29 minutes. It took them I think about 8 or 9 minutes to walk up to his ball, but he had 20 minutes or so wait for hitting that second shot. That's a long time.
It is.
That's a long
It
time.
is. What would you do?
Well, I'd get on to the guy in front of me, possibly report him to the committee. I forget his name, but like he's a rookie on tour, so I think Colin understood, this is going to happen. But there's just chaos in front of him, rulings everywhere. So I think he actually did what a lot of amateur golfers can learn from, is that he just removed himself away from the shot, and he's trying to distract himself every which way, but didn't want to be thinking about the shot in front of him. He had about 230 yards to go. He had to make birdie to win the tournament on the par 5. Because Min Woo Lee, one of my favourite golfers, was finished. So he went off down the side of the hole and was looking out across the Pacific Ocean for a few minutes. He was taking practice swings to stay warm. What do you do? I don't know what I would have done. Probably, doom scrolled on Instagram for 7 or 8 minutes.
I was straight on TikTok, straight on it.
But it's a tough one, And then to come up and hit the shot he hit, after hitting it, didn't hit a golf shot for 20 minutes. And then hits one just right off the pin and which is like for his caliber, is like, he's going to get up and down from there. And he truly did. Had a tap in for the birdie. The second thing is, Collin Morikawa is one of us. He's one of us. He's a pro shopper. Did you see that on social media? The PGA Tour released it yesterday. And I think everybody was talking about the pro shop at Pebble Beach last week, given Tommy Fleetwood doesn't have an apparel contract. So he was head to toe Pebble Beach. So there's loads of memes about, wife says, don't spend much in the pro shop. And then there's just a picture of Tommy Fleetwood head to toe Pebble Beach, wearing about $1,000's worth of merchandise. So it was nice to see, after getting the trophy and doing the media commitments, I don't just see it. Colin went into the pro shop with his wife, who was expecting, and they asked him, "Oh, what would you like, Colin?" Well, first of all, he walked in, did you see it? He goes, "Hey, nice to meet you. My name's Colin," to the pro shop attendant. I don't know if you catch that. I thought that was just a touch of class. And how can we help you, Colin? It's like, well, get some stuff, maybe t-shirts or a couple of hats, and get whatever she'd like. Maybe some baby stuff, because it came out then on the Sunday night that they're expecting. I think it's their first child. But it was just nice to see, he's going, I like this hat and this hat and this hat and this t-shirt. And little nuances that like you wouldn't have known. So he said, since he won the Masters, he's only marked his card with Augusta National pencils. But given this comeback means so much to him, he's like, look, now I got it. Like, just mark. I've stolen like 10 pencils from the start of this week. I'm only going to mark my scorecard with Pebble Beach pencils. And from behind the pro shop, they go, there you go, bam, the full box space. I don't need that many. Don't need that many. There's no take them. So yeah, it was just nice to see. He's just a regular person. They're all regular human beings behind it all. But yeah, that was good to see.
Yeah. Do you find, like, when Colin was in the video, was picking out his hats, maybe it's just me, I was like, I wonder would that colour suit him, or what would he wear with that? But when I see like professionals playing courses not during rounds, like Rory McIlroy, for example, I always look at the hat he's wearing, always look at the top, in particular the hat, because I'm like, which golf course is he wearing or which brand? I do that so often when I see golfers like just playing regularly.
So do I. So do I. I think you'll find they'll try and pick the gear that has no branding on them, as in like who's made that piece of apparel. They'll show the crest and stuff. All right. I think Mr. McIlroy is a fan of Ohoopee Golf Club. He's a member there. I think it's quite prestigious, but you can get on it if you know someone, I think. But Ohoopee, he tends to sport their gear. But yeah, Morikawa, I think, was going for the rope hats. I think he picked up a fine collection of them, and in block colours. I think Colin is a block colour guy. If you watch Full Swing a couple of years ago, there's a scene about Adidas giving him these as your scripts for the first few months. And he was like, I'll take the olive green pants, but I don't know about this. And then they kind of made him wear stuff he didn't want to wear.
Yeah.
But I think he's a block colour guy, blacks and navies. It's always nice to see those kind of behind the scenes moments.
For sure. And we had some really exciting news in the ladies tour as well.
Charley Hull, mate. You only gone and done it. That's my really bad Essex accent. I promise I'll never do it again. That is a PIF Saudi event. So obviously one of the, maybe monetarily or monetary wise, a good event to take part in. Lauren Walsh made the cut. Didn't know that. and Charley Hull won. She thought she'd go to playoff, but she was doing her bits afterwards, keeping warm, hitting a few putts and that, and she found out she won. And her first remark, which I think is great that it was got, her first reaction was like, "Yes, I won. That's the renovation paid for."
Yeah. Oh,
Like,
amazing.
definitely.
Imagine that.
Because do you know what she's renovating?
I assume her house or her gym, or it's her house anyway.
So she said why, because Justin Rose put up a picture after winning the Amex, because he flew home to London for the weekend to get the thumbs up from his teenage sons. But he put up his trophy cabinet. It's all like different size wall unit, and it's all backlit LEDs, and there's a space left here, for obviously another major. And Charlie said, "I've asked my contractor, send him the picture. I want this. This is what I want in my house." So that's what the renovation is. She's building a like for like trophy wall cabinet a la Justin Rose, and she's starting to fill it by the looks of things.
Class. Yeah, she's some player, and she's a player of the people. The people really, really do love her, and she is just so normal, like you said about Collin Morikawa. So that's amazing. And then just in one other piece of exciting Irish golf news, Galway native Sam Murphy is making his pro debut on the Alps Tour. And, we've said this in the last 2 months of the podcast. Irish golf is in such an exciting place. And now we've got another guy going out on tour, giving it a crack. Probably went through all the Golf Ireland development programs as a child, gone through the juniors, senior rankings, college golf, and now here we go.
I know, and I spoke with Sam a couple of times, and he's been through. Do you want to talk about resilience? He's had the injuries. He's had, I don't know, the wrist surgery. He's had arthritis in both ankles, which you can imagine restricts movement. But yeah, he's an absolute baller. I think in Portumna, or one of the Scratch Cups last year, he shot 12 under par. It's like he's definitely got it in him. But he's a sound man. He was on the bag, I think, on Donegan through Q School for Ladies European Tour Q School, and they got through that together. So yeah, obviously a sound guy and willing to help out his circle of golfing friends around him as well. So wishing Sam the best of luck on Alps Tour. Keeping track of him there for sure.
100%, 100%. And moving away from some player news, there was a big announcement made this week from one of the open venues, and I really want your take on this, Paddy. Royal Birkdale has introduced a ballot system for reduced green fees. And to give people some context here, at Royal Birkdale Golf Club, you're normally looking at roughly £450 to £500 for a standard visitor tee time. But through the ballot, some golfers can get on Royal Birkdale for £99. Now, I see a load of positives to this. It's amazing, but do you think all golf courses should do this? What's your full take on it? When you saw the news, how did you feel?
Well, I got a few DMs about it. Not that I'm super popular, but like I'm a member of the Hinch Golf Club, like one of the best in the country. Let's be transparent about it. And I got a few DMs about, like more courses should be doing this, like the top courses in Ireland. Because I think maybe a week ago or 2 weeks ago, another thing came out on golf.com and went around social media about, the cost to play, like the most expensive course to play across the UK and Ireland. And obviously, like the big ones are in there. The Port Russia, Royal County Downs, Lahinch, Portmarnock, etc. The who's who of golf. So I got a few DMs on more courses should be doing this. The Royal Birkdale Ballot, like I entered it. Do you know what I mean? It's like, if I can get a deal, I get a deal. Like I'm not averse to getting a deal if it's been advertised for. And if they're like, I actually think it's really clever, But I think let's stop pretending every marquee club should do it. I think Royal Birkdale Golf Club can experiment because it is an open venue. The Open is on there this year. There is global visibility on that part of, is it Lancashire?
Mm-hmm.
And it's just northwest of Manchester. Like it's on my hit list to play this year because with work I might get the opportunity. Have spotted there's a couple of my customers are up around Warrington. So, if it works out. But like there's massive hype cycles around championships, like globally. The minute or the year that maybe a certain venue is up, give or take the following summer, that venue is pretty much sold out for the year by golf tourists globally. So like there's built-in marketing momentum. But most top tier clubs, let's take the Northern Ireland and Irish clubs aside, like Royal Portrush aside, are not hosting the Open. Like they're not operating in that media frenzy or ecosystem over an 18-month or 2-year period. Like Royal Portrush hosted the Open, and I didn't see the benefit of it because of COVID. So luckily it came around again. But like the top marquee courses, like these places, you speak about Lahinch or Tralee or Ballybunion, or like if you look at what the golf tour companies are advertising, they're advertising for next year because this year's sold out. And like half of next year is already sold out. These places have full tee sheets. They have international visitor demand. There is massive staffing costs. You mentioned there about, go and visit your local golf club, the golf club you're a member of, because there's staffing costs. Buy your burger there this Sunday or whatever. But at these places, Lahinch employs, I think, I don't go to the AGM, so I'm guesstimating. But, at the height of the summer, there's over 70 people employed there. And there's a knock-on effect of, between the surfing, and one thing. But if there was no golf club in Lahinch, there wouldn't be much business or jobs in Lahinch in terms of hospitality, etc. There's machinery investments. Go Google how much a greenkeeping cutting machine is, right? Whether it's Toro or John Deere. Like, they're 6 figures for one of them. And generally every 4 years, you'd want to be buying a new one. Like you rock up to a marquee course, and I'll finish in a minute. Yeah. It's like you rock up to a Portmarnock in May, you'll play a top level championship course the same time you play it in July or September. And the same to be said of Birkdale. But like, so you're getting full value for your money. Do you know what I mean? You're not going to go to a Ballybunion in April and be on mats, I don't think. Do you know what I mean? Or if you are, you might get a fierce discount then. So, and Matt Janella and Matt Adams, I've had chats with them before, and they're massive, like, American guys for tours. They're like, pay the money. Like, be grateful that you have the access in the first place. If you can get a deal and someone is advertising like a Ballot, fantastic. I think it's really clever. And but I don't think, and I said this to you before we hit record, like, if I am in the Ballot, I give them the dates I want. Do you know what I mean? But I don't think they'll be giving away too many, 11 o'clock on a Saturday in July. I think it might be more so a Tuesday, 7 time in May or early April. So they get to pick and choose which Ballot entries they can give depending on where the Super Quiet is in our year this year. That's the rant over. But the marquee clubs, not because they're greedy, I think they're preserving a premium experience. Because it costs serious money to maintain those places.
Yeah. Just a question on Lahinch, because it seems busy all year round.
Here we go. They're going to rescind my membership now. They're going to say he's trouble.
No, it's just what days of the week do they allow visitors, or is it every day? Because every time I'm there, I haven't played it a lot. I've played it a few times. It just seems full all the time.
Every day.
And is it yeah?
Every day. We get a member slot for a couple hours. A couple of times of the day, be mostly members. Yeah, Saturday, Sunday is pretty much members only. But like that, we have a great honor system in the club. So, if late notice, if lads are out in the town Friday night and come off the line, like there's visitors there waiting for the walk-on opportunity on the Saturday. They'll wait around all day, like people would at the old course, waiting for a slot. So it's premium even for members to get out. So yeah, they'll take visitors every other day. And I know that a lot of other courses of the marquee variety only take visitors 3 days a week. So again, but yeah, to my knowledge, like Lahinch is 5 days a week. And at the weekends, if there's a break in the members, if members haven't fulfilled their time, then short notice a visitor may get out, yeah. But like 2026 was sold out. If it wasn't for those visitors, especially with the American variety, an irrigation system went in 2-3 years ago. That was $2.5 million. Why do you need an irrigation system on a links course? To manage recovery, to manage the water better, from a sustainability perspective. This is a whole different podcast. And we're lucky enough that, that footfall, we're able to, like, there's a big project there in the clubhouse. No, we're without a clubhouse for the most of this year. Like some members, some friends of mine give out, but I'm like, come here. just see the facility that's going to be there. It's going to be fantastic. So like there's ups and downs and pluses and minuses of even being a member of these marquee golf courses. But like, look at the exquisite bit of land we get to have fun on for 4 to maybe 6 hours sometimes if there's Americans ahead of us, most of the year. Like,
Yeah, I agree.
I'll never not be grateful for being a member there.
I wholeheartedly agree with you. Okay, community questions. Right, this is our favorite part of the show when we get your questions. And this is the stuff that we don't think of. We might avoid, and occasionally the stuff that could get us in trouble, but we do try avoid all scenarios like that. So if you want to get involved, email us at podcast@scratchsocialhq.com or slide into the DMs at scratchsocialhq. Paddy, what's been in our inbox this week?
Well, we have an email from Chris Brannigan, which was extensive. So I don't know will I'll be able to read it all out because we're trying to keep these nice and snappy in 30 minutes. Today's episode might be a little longer than 30 minutes, folks. So I'll read portions of it so people can get the gist of it. So, Chris, thanks for getting in touch. We do appreciate the communication. The subject was, are clubs dropping the ball on junior and intermediate scratch cups? Hi guys, enjoying the podcast. Thanks for listening, Chris. Particularly the deep dive into the amateur scene. So that was like a bonus episode we did. Geez, I can't remember. It was like episode 5 or 6. A topic Chris would love to get our take on is the mid to low handicap bracket, particularly junior and intermediate scratch cups. Scratch Cup Ireland pages on Twitter and Instagram are outstanding. Yes, they are. They're a fantastic way to track what's on, etc. So growing up in his club, the junior and even intermediate scratch cups were big occasions. They were dates you circled on the calendar, similar to a captain's day. While the senior scratch cup events are typically 36 holes, you'd occasionally get a junior intermediate over 36 holes as well. And that gave it a really big event feel. Our club used to stage them properly, signage up leaderboards in the clubhouse, and a real sense of occasion. You'd finish the first round, head in, soup and sandwich, check the scores, then back out for the second round. It felt really special. Clubs benefited too, with strong numbers at the bar, restaurant and pro shop. There was great prizes, etc. They also presented a great opportunity for clubs to get sponsors. They brought players and visitors through the doors. It was a well-run event. They were great days. I am skipping, by the way. I've played in quite a few over the last few years and can't help but feel like some clubs have dropped the ball a bit. The same emphasis and promotion isn't always there. For junior and intermediate scratch cups, some clubs still run them brilliantly, but others treat them more like standard open competitions. That's fine, but it feels like a missed opportunity. These events are such an important stepping stone for players aiming to reach senior scratch cups. I think clubs could be doing more to push them, maybe even committing 36-hole formats where possible, promoting them properly, pushing them on social media, strong prize tables, attracting sponsors, and restoring that marquee event feel. End of the question. Are clubs missing a trick here? Keep up the great work with the pod. All the best, Christopher. First of all, great name, because my son is also called Christopher. So yeah, Emer, are clubs dropping the ball on junior and intermediate scratch cups?
So just to give everybody context, myself and Paddy actually had a really good chat about this before the podcast. And we've similar perspectives on this, but just view things in a different way. My thought is that in 15 years, the world has changed so much. And previously, people thought that they could only really play scratch cups at the club they knew, a club down the road, their local club, and scratch cups were such a big event. Whereas social media has opened up the world to people, and every golf course is accessible now. Green fees on some clubs, as we all know, under our under €50 segment is really, really popular. Green fees enable people to play golf courses across the board. And I just personally think now that people have more variety, more options, these events are just less popular. It's like Netflix. You have choices all around you. You've got great golf courses. So a scratch cup used to be this big thing where everybody would go, you'd travel in cars together, you'd have a ball, you'd be ringing home because you didn't really have an iPhone. You wouldn't really be putting it on social media. You'd be getting it, you're getting your results in the local newspaper, maybe an email blast. And so I don't know if they dropped the ball. I just think the world has changed. Could some clubs still do them very well. But yeah, I don't know if they dropped the ball. I just think maybe people have more options now, and that's what's happening.
Yeah, I think appetite to travel has shifted. I think 15 years ago or more, a scratch cup was part of the season plan. Golf is expensive now, like the price of fuel. Time is limited. Like 15 years ago, I had no kids. I have 3 kids now. You know, I think senior scratch cups will generally always fill up because people off scratch are better. That's only like in the men's game. That's only 2% of golfers, and they're playing for something different. Senior scratch cup gets you points, gets you maybe order merit points for the. I know it's still Bridgestone one, is it, or the Flow Gas now? For the national order of merit for the best amateur in the country, so they want to be competitive. So they'll always fill up generally as a senior scratch cup around the country. There are juniors and intermediates there, and they're on the scratch cup spreadsheet that Christopher mentions. But I think it falls back to the golfer. I've played in a few scratch cups, notably one in Rossapena. I go every year. I'm going to miss it this year because we're in America. But America will be worth it, I keep telling myself. But what goes into running a scratch cup for a club? So if it's 36 holes in one day, well, that's overtime for staff, prize funds, course the sponsors, volunteers are needed. The course is gone for a day, so revenue, fine. Well, maybe not fine, but they've to set up the course, the couple of days running up to it, so maybe overtime for greenkeepers. I helped the local GA last year to run a golf day. My God, we could not get sponsors. That is the hardest part. And we were looking for tee sponsors, like 100 quid here, 200 quid there maybe. I think we got 12, 14. It's go down your local high street and ask them for 100 quid for donation for any charity, or they're getting it from every angle. The GAA, different GA teams. We went down the high street. Well, the senior footballers are already into us. Or the Camogie are already into us. So that was maybe more of a problem with the there was no fundraiser committee in this particular GA club. But so it's tough to get sponsors. So I'd say that's the thing. My own personal experience, I played in the Rossapena year one. I didn't get in the first two draws. I got in 5 or 6 days beforehand because the weather forecast didn't look great. So a good chunk of the field, great. Now, thankfully, I rang ahead and said, look, I'm not going traveling. But what if they didn't? How successful would that scratch cup have been? And it was a great bloody day. The weather was actually great, lads. So you missed out. So it comes back to the golfer again of actually being dependent on to, I've entered and I'm going to play. I think the big thing is on the commercial side of it, the overtime of staff, of catering, and the difficulty in getting volunteers maybe, the difficulty in securing a marquee sponsor. That's my thoughts on it, really.
Yeah.
Financial
you're right.
reality.
Yeah, that makes total sense. And when you talk it out as well, it really, really does. And just to give a shout out to Paul Mix, who does run the Scratch Cups pages. What a great job he does. So keep going, Paul, because we all look at them. They're so valuable. So keep them coming.
Except every Scratch Cup I look at tends to be a weekend I'm away somewhere else. And Paul does note the junior intermediate Scratch Cup. So there are plenty of clubs still doing them, and they're running good ones because they're there every year. But I'm keeping track of that spreadsheet for the last 2 or 3 years anyhow. And yeah, like our marquee golf course chat, it isn't about getting a great golf course for a great value. You should be looking to go compete. It's a different environment.
Yeah, it is. It is. But Chris, thank you so much for your email. And if you have any thoughts on how, courses might be able to get more interest or sort the funding or whatever it is, give us your ideas, because you never know how we might be able to help or push it too.
Now, the blind rankings we did last week, there was a bit of a hit there now. I got plenty of messages about how dare you start off with the full custom fit bag and throw Emer off. I got that more than once. Thank you
so much to listeners, because there was a few people saying, hey, that was really unfair. So I've been working.
How dare you leave the RCD membership to last?
I've been working hard on these. I have.
Yeah, these aren't even in our shared documents, so I haven't a clue what I'm going to get here. So let's go.
No. Okay. Blind rankings for you, Paddy. Okay. Now you have to rank these 1 to 5. You don't know what I'm going to say. You have to rank every item I say in whatever way you're going to rank it, and then at the end we'll review. So your first blind ranking is a tea time at Augusta with 3 of your best friends.
Thank God we can edit out the pauses. Augusta National with 3 friends. Is this like one of these rate the best super subs in the Aussie Volley Gunner Solskjaer till the end? because it's going to come. So what's going to come that's better than...
Okay, number 2. Okay.
Live to regret that.
Your next blind ranking. A 1-hour range session with your favourite golfer, Nelly Korda.
I believe there's good coming, because that's tough to save for.
Okay, your next blind ranking. You and your whole family have free lifetime membership at Lahinch. No more fees ever. And all of the fees you've paid previously are refunded to you.
5. Because it is worth every single euro. And I know that money will go into fantastic projects and endeavours of infrastructure, etc. in the club. 5.
Okay, your next blind ranking. So you are the only person to ever have a hole-in-one at the Waste Management on the 16th in front of the whole world.
3.
Okay, interesting. And
This better be good, Emer. This better be good.
Your final one is a house at Lahinch Golf Club.
It is good to wait, folks. Number 1, that is the dream that I have indoctrinated into my wife. My wife is that someday we will have a house in that place in the world. So yes, number 1, very easy.
Amazing. We need to do the audio claps of this. And when I was putting that last as well, I was like, I think that's going to be his number 1. So just to recap to everyone, we blind ranked and Paddy has given his number 1 in the blind rankings as a house at Lahinch Golf Club. Number 2 is a tea time at Augusta with 3 of your best friends. Number 3 is the only person to ever have a hole-in-one at the Waste Management in front of the whole world. Number 4 is a 1-hour range session with Nelly Korda. And number 5 is you and your whole family have a free lifetime membership at Lahinch Golf Club. Well done.
I'm sorry, lads, but retrospectively, Nelly would be 2nd. The lads in Augusta would be 3rd. The Waste Management would be 5th and Lahinch would be 4th. But yeah, retrospective is 2020, or hindsight's 2020. But I'm happy I held out and I was patient. And I trusted the process.
Yeah. Patience is a virtue. And we learned that in golf. So well done. Well done.
There we go. Well worth it. Cool. All right. Golf course under €50 this week, Emer.
Castle Comer Golf Club, as recommended by Bob Williams and a few others who have commented under our TikTok and Instagram videos. So thank you so much. So today we're shining a light, a €50 spotlight, should I say, on one of Ireland's hidden gems, Castle Comer Golf Club. Nestled in the beautiful Kilkenny countryside, this parkland course offers everything golfers love. Mature trees, gentle rolling fairways, and a layout that's both enjoyable and challenging. Now, I actually wanted to fact check the challenging bit, so I went on to their Google reviews, and they have incredible Google reviews, and a lot of them talk about how challenging Castle Comer is, so I love that. And while it's challenging, it looks absolutely beautiful. What really does make it stand out is the values. So with green fees typically coming in under €50, it's an exceptional experience that won't break the bank. So just to give you the full picture, Monday to Friday, green fees are only €35, and on weekends and bank holidays, they're €40. But if you're lucky enough to play with a member, each green fee is dropped by €5. So if you play with a member at Castle Comer, it's €30. I absolutely love that. And so, look, if you're planning a trip, if it's in Ireland, if you're coming over for a holiday and you're looking for affordable golf, Castle Comer is your golf club. And also, just to add, Kilkenny is a great town for a pint of Guinness. Fun fact, I walked the Kilkenny parade last year promoting the OFX Irish Legends.
Fair play.
So if you saw me, I hope you waved.
Come here to me. My stag was on, we played golf in Castle Comer on the Friday.
No way.
So I can attest that it is a nice routing. There's some smashing holes. Can't remember much of the back nine. That was some of the activities that we were going up. But I'm trying to find it here on the way back in from Castle Comer towards Kilkenny. I won't be able to find it fast enough to keep this in the episode. But there's a pub inside the road. I think it's just before a bridge on the right.
I know the pub.
And it is, and we just stopped there to stop there, and we should have stayed there for about 6 hours. It was phenomenal. Massive plasma TVs, but like an old style pub on the inside. Sky Sports on tap. I'm pretty sure it's still there. But it is an epic spot. What did us in was John Scarrett buying too many gin and tonics, so we had to get into town fast for his own safety. But A class pub. So if people know what I'm talking about, stick it in the comments or get on to us. Paddy, you're thinking of this place, because I want to get back into it when I'm more sound mind. But I do remember ballpark where it was.
I think it's called Matt the Miller's, isn't it? It's down the road from Mount Juliet. I know the pub you're on about. It's a really small, like old Irish traditional pub. But then you walk in the back and there's an amazing, massive courtyard with TVs, a huge bar.
Oh,
There's a herd.
I was in there. That's in town. Yeah, that's in town.
Oh no, that's the wrong
We did
one.
get into that one later in. So I'll find it. And I'll put it up maybe as a post on our Instagram story. Like, this is the place Paddy talks about in the podcast, because it is a hidden gem of a pub. But I'm sure plenty more people know about it. Absolutely.
It's Malzard's. Sorry, it's Malzard's. It's definitely Malzard's. It's amazing.
Malzard's pub, Kilkenny.
Yeah, that's it. I've been there.
Off piste.
I've drank many a pint there. It's amazing. That's the one. It's near the bridge.
I love when you go onto Google Maps and there's just like a massive bus in front of them. Once you're looking to go see big Trafalgar bus in front of the pub. So I'll do my own due diligence. I'll try and find it and I'll share it on the story. Maybe a box going, have you had a drink in here?
Yeah.
Might struck a bit of conversation.
Definitely.
Maybe in future. Best pub to go to post round.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Please drink responsibly and all that jazz.
It's I certainly have a selfie there, I'm sure, so I'll try dig it out. But so that's our €50 course. Amazing. And Kilkenny's a great spot.
So that's it. Kilkenny is the place to be for more than just pints, but plenty of golf as well. It's time to round out the episode now, Emer. So, up and down of the week. Such a good segment name. It belongs on a mug. What is your up and down of the week?
My up is that I saw some parts of Ireland I'd never seen before, and I drove across a beach for the first time in Donegal, which was very exciting and interesting, totally away from the water, so it was super, super safe. And my down is that just haven't played any golf. The weather's been very, very poor. Didn't get a chance to go to the indoor trackman, unfortunately, but I'll get going this week at some stage. And yeah, so it's all good. Breezing along. What is your up and down of the week, Paddy?
The up is new luggage arrived. We're going to America. So we invested in a new suitcase. This won't be ups about just me spending money. My birthday's not far away though. I got a new journal. So I'm back on the journal train. I'm keeping track of my runs. So I did 2 runs this week, which is more than is in my plan, but I had to catch up for lack of runs done in January. So active, but the down is, no golf this week between work and the runs are only 20 minutes. So I'm not going to blame the runs. But the down of the week is, I didn't make time to practice. And that's why, like, it's in the journal of, I'm tracking what days I practice so that at the end of the month I can see how many squares I have.
Wow.
And if I'm low on squares on a given week, it kind of tells me, well, we need to make time to put some squares in this week so that one week doesn't become 2. So it's a system that's working for me over the past 3 or 4 weeks. I would encourage you to try it maybe yourself for a week, because it gives you a sense of achievement and B, maybe of how to fix it for next week. So 1 week doesn't become 2. So yeah, that's it. Thank you very much. I have been Paddy.
I have been Emer.
And thanks for having us. Thanks for pressing play. Thanks for the engagement. We've been Scratch Social. You know where to find us. Talk to you next week.
Thanks, guys.